am back. Apologies for the little kerfuffle there. Basically, I'm trying to log into the Twitch on my phone so that I can finally view the chat, because I finally have a new phone. And while we're waiting, let's get all of the data enabled for you guys. Just to let you know, I cannot see chat right now, but give me a couple minutes once Hannah has sended over the login in, and then I can chat with the chatters and get you guys back involved in it, because I've been unable to chat, which is why a lot of you have had your messages unread. I know they were being sent in, but I'm so sorry I couldn't see them because my phone is very dead. So I've had to go out and buy a new one, which is a pain. It is what it is. Alright. Whilst we're going as well, I am a very, very hungry boy. I need my food. And food has just arrived, so I'm going to be muting periodically to eat. I've got quite a few drivers on laps. Galan is one of them, but Rules is the first of them. Rules will be first to get a lap on the board, if he can keep it valid through this awkward section. Nice apex actually there from Rules, and a very strong exit for the McLaren. Snaking his way to the line, got to be careful not to use that inside curve or the deployment used, and it's got 128.4. So that is the target to beat for the rest of the drivers. Got someone diving into the pits. Galan will be next across the line. Where will he put his Aston Martin? Goes second. 1.1 off of Rules' original pole time. And of course with Lando, Spoon goes, slots in P2, a couple of tenths behind. Mendel has a poor first lap. Andreas, there we go. McLaren's 1-2 right now. Spoony third. Under 3 tenths off of provisional pole as it was. Whereas Nico on the outlap, the only one currently on an active flying lap. That's of course unless Mendel is on a lap. Alright. Just gonna log into the Twitch. Give me just one moment. Alright. Apologies. All the blank. Table is as it was, except from Rogue Nico. Has finished his flying lap, getting out the way of this AlphaTauri. Stewart, who is on a flyer, as is keen as is the Astrid. Don't think I'm going to be able to log into the Twitch just yet, so apologies, I'm still not able to reach out until I've got it all sorted out on my phone. Long time to scoop some food into my mouth. Keen original pulp. Sorry for discussing through the stream. It's very tight schedule for me at the moment, but I'll always find time for this league unless I'm not present at my Xbox, as will be the case for Division 1 this Friday. Piastri goes second, Porsche 6th, Mendel still last, but lots of time in that lap. Speaking of, for the line, Mendel, what will it be? Improvement. Apologies for the stream momentarily going into pause mode. Again, I am trying to sort out getting into the login. Iron, my big man, big friend, if you're watching, can I get the code? Apologies for the pausing, I'm just sorting the final bits out. Alright, finally, and thank you Ironland for the code, you're a legend. Give me chat. Give me chat. There it is. Yeah. Alright. Hi, thank you Ryan for sending that code. You're an absolute legend. Thank you. Thanks to you, we now have chat being able to be read. How's everyone doing on this Phone who this, yes, pretty much. Also, how's quality? Because quality for me is a little bit ropey at the moment. Let me see what we are streaming at, and let me turn the stream down on my phone. We are streaming at 480p. Into the pits comes Andreas after setting the pole lap. Rules will look to follow. He's a 10.5 up. That will currently slot him P2, but he will look to find himself another 10.5. Then he'll find himself on pole, or maybe even just find another 10th on top of that, and he'll be in the ballpark of Andreas's lap. And with to set quality. Wow, Highland, why you always spend so long before setting quality laps? You've got to get a couple in. But yeah, good luck. Be fast. Don't want to move up, do we? I'm only joking. Yeah, respect. Understandable. You don't really want to be getting in the way of any other racer. I do think you'll be in Div 2 soon, but yeah, go set your lap, my friend. Rules did set his lap to go second. XFR Piastri, that's a name that I've not seen before. Haven't seen Mendel in a while. Baconator I don't think I've seen here before. Also, although I have a phone now, that does not mean that I have Discord yet. I will get a code in 24 hours to log into Discord. Piastri. Oddly enough, we've got people named after both McLaren drivers, neither of which drive for McLaren. Imagine that. Piastri and Lando, the Div 2 Dream Team. And Piastri, bit of a dream debut so far for him. Goes up to P5. Only 10.5 off of last season's vice champion. Good stuff. Andreas going out nice and early. Doesn't want any traffic. I know I'm digressing here, but this food is amazing. Let's stop ranting about the food and let's watch this lap. So here comes Andreas. This is the big one. Will he extend his margin for pole position? Or will it end up where he left off and leave him vulnerable to the two drivers currently on outlaps? Looks like a strong first couple of corners for Andreas here into the fast left, right, left. The car nicely hooked up, bit of understeer there, keeps it within track limits. Downshift another gear and he's round. That downshift of third just unsettled the rear end. At a high load mid-speed corner, the last thing you want to do is downshift, because that creates a pull on the engine and it will slow down the rear wheels and they'll break traction and go round on you, and that is a prime example of what we call torque steer, where the engine does a bit of steering for you with the torque. Keynes starting a lap. Keynes. Andreas actually, he might have left himself with enough fuel to go again here, you know. Flag, Piastri retires. Has he done that? In the pits, good on him. We've got changes all up and down the field. Ireland took the first lap on 1:33.3. Still a bit of time in there. Andreas to the line to start another flying lap here. May run out of ERS on the lap, but never know, he could find some improvement. Speaking of improvement, Hammer's gone up to P3 ahead of Keynes there. And he slipped himself a lot closer to pole and where he'd really want to be. And has the pace to be. He's not seemed to unlock it very much this season. I think he thinks he's reached his peak. But I think he thinks is wrong. In English, he can't believe that he's not got much more pace in the bag, but there he is. There is plenty more pace. So it's just evaluating where he can improve compared to the drivers like Andreas and Keynes, who goes P2. We'll have a look at some esports on board, seeing where you differ. It only takes 5 minutes to watch a time trial world record lap compared to yours. Then you will have some stuff to learn from. As rules. Has learned since his last lap and goes up to second place, so unless Hammer is able to do anything, and he is facing the wrong direction right now, it will be an Andreas pole. 21 seconds down at the moment. I dare say this isn't going to be a purple lap for him. Well, that might have been the last lap actually. No, it's this lap. He knows he's on pole. P5 going for it, sending it to try and improve. He's out of fuel. So then, oh yeah. So then, Andreas on pole, rules second. It's a McLaren 1-2, except our Piastri on debut as P5. But ahead of him is Keynes and Hammer. Behind big man Piastri in his Aston Martin, his Horch, and Ironland. Oh, that sucks. You were 3/10 down anyway, weren't you? Because of the ERS difference. There we go. Williams locking out the, what would that be? No, not locking out a row. 6th and 7th, Spoonie 8th. Stuart EA, decent showing from him. P9, Baconator slips into the top 10. A5, more time to find in that, surely. He's P11, Scalan, P12, Rognico P13, and Matty rounds out the last of the qualifiers, but it's a McLaren 1-2. Can anyone stop McLaren? Or will McLaren have their moment in the Miami Heat? Well, we're not at the Miami Heat Stadium, we're at the Miami Dolphins Stadium. But awkward sports puns aside, genuinely. McLaren are wash, but genuinely, will McLaren be able to retain this, or will the Haas of Keynes behind them be able to challenge? Maybe will Hammer or maybe even XFR Piastri challenge the McLarens. He drives for him in real life, but yeah, the gloves are off. And he's about to spar Zach Brown face to face. But McLaren 1-2. It's the Hard Rock Stadium as well. If anyone's never been to a Hard Rock, it's sort of a rockin' 80s sort of cafe. They're really good, do quite, well, very good food. There's quite a lot dotted all over the world. Yeah, very popular in America. There's a few in major cities, and the UK we've got there's one in London. That's a big one. I've been to the one in Orlando, Florida as well, instead of Miami, the stadium. Got a feeling they'll come P8. Do you know what? Oh, I think you might exceed that expectation, because we are going to have a chaotic race. I predict chaos. Speaking to Hammer before the race, he said I predict rain. But for me, chaos. Nothing to do with driving standards, just chaos. I'd like a bit of rain, I'd like a bit of chaos, but I'm content with dry around here. In this league, wet or dry, the battling is always immeasurably good. And we are just waiting to see that once again. To remind you, a McLaren 1-2, Andreas, Rules and Keynes, the top three. Keynes in the Haas, going to be looking to take the fight to the Mercedes-powered McLarens. Almost said Renault-powered. So we're not in 2018 anymore. Or 19, actually. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm so tired. I'm surprised I haven't yawned yet. It's been a long day. Having to repair a puncture that we'd already repaired 5 minutes before the end. Doing a 45-minute job in 5 minutes. Turns out it takes it out of you. But that does mean I'm mellowed out. And if we get a safety car in this race, I may go grab myself a glass, stick some ice in it, and stick some vodka in it. How are we doing, Mr. Zoom? We are doing great. I can finally read chat. It's a miracle. I have a phone that works. It does feel quite cheap quality, but it's faster than the A12. How's the starting grid looking? Well, thing is, you asked so kindly. There is your starting grid, my friend. Andreas, Rules, Keynes, Hammer, XFR, Piastri, Horch, Ironlan, Spoonie, Stewart, Baconator, A5, Scallan, Rugnico and Matty, with Mendel starting last place. Spicy indeed. Let's hope this race stays spicy and we don't have the shitstorm that usually comes after spice. That was a really poor joke. I'm gonna be quiet now. Taco Bell moment, if you know what I'm saying. That's probably why. Yeah, bad start for Merc. Although, actually, to be fair, although Matty's starting last, but one, of course, Mendel, Hammer was looking alive in qualifying. He looked like he had pace. And Rules looks like he has a hard tyre on. Wow. So there'll be a divide at McLaren in pace. They're going for alternate strategy on that car of Rules. They start on the low wearing tyre, on the low grip tyre, on high fuel, which does tend to create a bit more wear and make the car a little bit more boat-ish, as if the cars on this game weren't boat-ish enough. Yeah, whatever floats your boat though. And what will float Rules this boat is, if race director is correct, the hard compound tyre. which if he can stick with Andreas, it'll be a very good strategic decision. But if he lets Andreas gap, he cannot hold Keens up, because Keens and Andreas may battle late race. And that may bring rules back into it if there's not a safety car, which I'm expecting there to be an early safety car. It's not the nature of the league, it's the nature of the track. It always seems to throw up big curveballs. I think that would be wonderful. Chaos. Absolute chaos. So the green flags are being waved, the cars making their way through, and we will quickly flick to the tyre graphic and see that rules is indeed on the hard compound tyre. So the second McLaren on the grid, starting second. Oh, nice stat for McLaren there, and a good start to this race in qualifying, but points are awarded on the Sunday, or in this case 10 minutes after qualifying. Points are awarded on the Sunday in the race, and that is where these two will duel it out, and they will hope, they will pray, and they really should work together here to sort of keep this 1-2, a 1-2, and not let a Haas or a Mercedes, or maybe even one of the mid-pack, get in on this. They've got to fight for World Championship points, but they've also got to make sure they maximize it for the team. It's an odd scenario to be in. Do you take the Ferrari approach where you sort of team orders your way to make number one driver finish in the number one position? Do you multi-21 it? Or do you just let them race like Mercedes did back in the Rosberg-Hamilton days of domination? Let them race, let them fight. If they crash, it's their fault. If they don't, it's one hell of a show. And I'm hoping they go for the Mercedes approach. They could go for the Red Bull approach of a bit 50-50 between Ferrari and Mercedes, where it's team orders sometimes, but most of the time, race. We don't care. It's action. But even if the front two don't provide action, I'm sure P3 to P15 will fill in the gaps. So then, last car on the grid was not Mendel, but he is the last car on the grid, and he can see the 5 red lights ahead of him. They're on now, and they are out. We go green here in Miami. Great start from Andreas. And it looks like Keens on the better compound tyre has got a better start. That's a car diving down the inside. That's Ireland's missed his braking point, I believe. Was it Ireland? No, I believe it was Howak. Howak. Or was it Ireland? I'm not quite sure who it was, but someone went barreling in to turn one, broke too late, and that has caused absolute chaos. P3 and P4 on the grid are now P13 and P14. My word, chaos then at the start of this race. And leading from that chaos is Andreas. And he's got 4 hard compound runners behind him to give him a buffer to the next best. Stuart EA, this is Ireland. Getting past a few cars, or is this a glitch on my timing equipment? No, it's not. It's Ireland. Happening with the car of Ireland? Has he taken some heavy damage? I'm not really sure who was at fault for that lap 1 incident as well. It wasn't Williams. I don't think it was Howak. I think it might have been Ireland, which is horrible luck for Ryan if it is, because it's so easy to miss a braking point in turn 1, and it just causes absolute chaos when you do. Been a nightmare at one end of the garage and a dream at the other for Williams, but it's all sunshine and rainbows at both ends of the McLaren garage. They have held their 1-2 so far. This is Matty and Baconator into the pits. There's the yellow flags. That's a spin for Hammer. Not a good start here for Hammer. He's still looking to put up a championship charge. come alive in this title race, but it's not worked out for him so far. The nature of this track, and possibly some damage on the side pod after getting an almighty slap on the side from a Williams at the start. I'm guessing Jack is Howak, who is currently side by side with XFR Piastri. They're going to go side by side into this section. Howak gives the squeeze, and Piastri will have to hold off for another lap. But these three cars on the hard tyres are stopping short from making any inroads on these mediums, which in turn will only help the hard runners. So some advantage Andreas I see so far. It all depends on if Andreas' setup works on the hards and if Rawls' setup works on the medium. It will be by default quicker, but how much quicker? If any, who set their tyre pressures to run which compound? Because I know I like to run the harder compounds as priority, but maybe, just maybe, the medium compound being a priority for Rawls and tyre pressures, that could bring him really, really back into the mix. Really poor couple of corners from Rawls though, and Howak will gain a couple temps. Andreas will gain a couple things. XFR Piastri just dropping outside of DRS activation on this lap. Howak has done a good job to manage that gap, but is going down here, and detection has just about been hit by Howak. He won't. He might look to get some kind of switch back here. Whoa, that's into the back. Stewart goes A5. It's a little bit of contact, but there's no contact here so far. Clean racing from these two. They go side by side into that section, and XFR Piastri is ahead. Now exiting on to the sector 3 back straight. Of course, as I said in Division 1, this is a track that is a Tilke circuit at heart. It's sector 1 main straight with a twisty section separated by a straight, with an even tighter twisty section with a massive back straight and a medium speed twisty section. That's all round. Who was that? Howak. He's gone round. Has he got any damage? That was a big moment for him. Doesn't look like there's any damage, but he's getting past left, right and centre. A big moment there for Howak, and he's side by side now with Nico. And Scalan says, thank you very much, I'll have 2 for the price of 1. Howak is dropping down the field rapidly here. He's lost 3 places in as many corners after that mistake at the final corner. It seems to have gotten to him. And speaking of people letting mistakes get to them, Spoonie is round in quite a decent position as well. Spoonie has rotated it, and Hammer is allowed back up a position, and he spins out of sympathy. What is going on here in Division 2? Chaos it is. As Nico, Keen's getting past Nico here. Nico, who got past Howak at turn 1, immediately lost that net position to Keynes, to Scalan, sorry, but he's got Keynes all over the back of him, heading down this massive back straight. And even with the assistance of DRS, which Nico won't get to activate before he gets past. No, he doesn't have DRS, so he's going to lose big on the straight. And Keynes, he's got nearly 16 miles an hour of overspeed on Scalan. Big money differences there between the Haas and the Aston Martin, who has the red light blinking. What will Scalan do to defend? Will he do anything at all to defend? He seems to have gone clean round the outside. Good defence from Scalan. We saw it last time out with him defending to get a point finish. Got their ice skates on today. Indeed they do. Teams will look to make Scalan get out of the groove with his skates and go flying off into the distance. Loses penguin, if you know what I'm saying, if you've ever been to an ice skating rink as a kid. As on skates indeed. That just reminded me of a Red Bull passing, honestly. Keen to set that car up for a straight, and Scalan knows it. He's not going to fight it there. And he has good pace through the corner, Scalan here, but he just keeps topping out. So it's a sacrifice for the time that he loses to a refined driver like Keynes in the corners. It's costing him big on the straights. And look at Keynes, he's gone. He is completely gone. ERS usage or not, that pass is something else in a straight line. And even with DRS, Scalan is not gaining. He's got 7 mile/h less speed with DRS. That's someone in the wall big time. That's Rogue Nico having a little brush, leaving his mark on the outside barrier, heading into the final corner. Maybe he broke a little late and had to resort to the old kick of the shoe on the floor, kick of the boots on the floor, I should say, to slow him down. As this is Howak looking for a move on Mendel, who says no thank you, and leaves Howak vulnerable to his teammate Ironland, who's looking to recover after a poor start. Down a couple of positions, he will look to get back up. Turn my light on. It's getting dark here and I'm getting a headache. He will look to pass Mendel. We've just seen battle his teammate very, very aggressively. But Howak, a different driver to Ironland. Ironland looks to defend around the outside, sends Mendel on skates there, and will try and hold the outside here. Backs out of it though. Knows the space isn't there. Knows there's a massive back straight coming up. That's the yellow flags. Further behind this is Rogue Nico having a bit of a spincident behind Howak. And still behind Howak, but he's not lost out any positions. I fear he may have lost some bodywork in that little spin. As I should probably blink back to this fight. Mendel, Ironland and Howak battling out here for P7. We've also got fights on the go for P3. That's another 3-car fight there. Those are our 2 battles on track, 6 cars, 3 in each. And Ironland looking to get up ahead of Mendel. He's battling hard here with the Alfa Romeo, and his teammate might be getting a little bit impatient behind. Ironland's playing the game right. He's balanced his ERS usage, not used much, and made Mendel use. So now the ERS advantage has gone from 8% in Mendel's favour to 8% in Iron's favour. So he will now have more deployment as that round goes Rogue Nico again. Seems like once you spin here, it's just an endless cycle. We've seen a couple spins for Hammer, a couple spins for Nico, spin for Spoonie. Once you go once, go twice, and Ironland has been in that position once, and it's the same outcome yet again. Mendel stays ahead, but Ironland still has the ERS advantage. He is driving very solidly so far in this race. Will he be able to continue the form? Will his teammate be able to pass him, or will Mendel hold him off? Will he see a red light flashing on that Mendel car? He will, and he goes to the outside for this last corner. They're side by side all throughout it. Ironland looks to sweep around the outside. He's going to get a better run here on the Alfa Romeo car. He's all over that inside curve, very deadly curve as well. Mendel defends. Ironland says no thank you, screw your defense, I'm going down the inside, but goes wide in doing so. And so Howak now might have a go at his teammate, and does. So Ironland just went a little bit deep on the brakes and curse at Williams for turn 1, it seems, at this race. That's 3 or 4 times that's happened. Once on lap 1, once to Howak since then, and once to Ironland since then. As Mendel's gone wide now. He's had a bit of a moment. As just driving standards are amazing this race, but people just keep messing up little spins here and there. And Mendel, after such a great defense, fighting, sorry, not really fighting, swatting off both of these Williams. drivers who were swarming around him trying to get past, and spotted them both off with ease. He's made one small error, he slipped up slightly, and now he finds himself 2 positions in the red because of it. Andreas as well has stopped pulling out the gap out front. Does not bode well for his race. Red light flashing for Ireland. He's going to go to the outside on Howak here. Mendel will have the hot seat for this. As deep on the brakes goes Mendel, deep on the brakes goes Ireland. Mendel will look to capitalise on Howak's small panic over his teammate running wide. So now in the slipstream with the DRS. Howak will get DRS as well. Mendel, will he have a little jink to the inside? He will, and he will commit to it. Down the inside goes the Alfa Romeo of Mendel. He will look to defend from the switchback. No, Howak gets the switchback. Good racing from the Division 2 lads this race. It's been enthralling to watch. I've been just caught up in this. I've got my dinner sitting on my lap, half eaten, and I'm starving. But this race, it's got me hungry for more, man. And that might be more as Howak goes a little bit wide there. We've got the Ferrari, the quick Ferrari with Spoonie joining this fight. We're going to have Hammer joining soon as well. We're going to have a 4-car fight here for this. A5 has dropped off of the fight for P3, so that just leaves Piastri and Stewart to battle it out for the end of the podium honours as Mendel goes wide then. Mendel's gone deep on the brakes. What's wrong with that Alfa Romeo car? Has he got an issue? Oh, lots of back end traction there at the transition from left to right, and that's left Hammer all over the back of him as if he wasn't already. Mendel is on the defensive yet again in this race. He's been up down the order, and it's down again. Mendel's been passed by the fast charging Hammer, and Mendel has no response. Spoonie now within DRS of this fight between the 2 teammates. And again, they've got to be careful here. They can't make too much contact as well. While I've been talking, in the last lap or so, Rawls has cut 2 tenths out of Andreas' lead. Andreas' mediums hitting a cliff then. So we can only assume that the medium runners will all start to drop off by now. Mendel all over the back of Hammer after being passed by Hammer. We've got Spoonie just trying to hold on to this DRS train here between Howak, who gets a small snap just past the apex there. Scary getting a snap with the wall right there, but he recovers it. And his teammate will look to recover. P8. He's side by side now, heading down the main straight. He is ahead. Howak does not fight it. A little bit deep for Ireland, but Howak knows the team game must be played here. If they fight, they will lose. Not to quote, I believe it, I can't remember who, but the Italian commentator from Formula 2 back in 2017, I think he said that about when Leclerc was closing into the fight between the leaders. He said if they fight it, they lose, and that really all the world of difference here. Howak not fighting and not losing, but he's lost a bit of front grip there. He's understeered big time, and now Spoonie says, I will have that. P9, I now have DRS, I'm now behind you, and there is yellow flag for A5. A5's dropped it. Does he have any damage on that Red Bull? No debris. Let's have a look. Is there any debris through the sector? I believe there might have been a chunk of front wing. It might just be a shadow on the inside. I believe it's a shadow, but A5 dropped it from P5, I believe it was. Yes, P5. Still above his predicted finishing position for himself, but he's dropped the position to 2 medium runners, and that's not going to suit him very well. What will suit the person behind him, Ireland, very well is the fact that A5's temperatures are through the roof, and Ireland, cool as ever, calm as ever. Look to collect, all lock together. We get past A5, get past the Red Bull, and up into P7. I believe we've started this race actually. As he started behind Howak, of course. down the straight. Oh, little good. Using ERS down the straight. Both A5 and Island, who runs a little wide of the apex. A5 runs wide of the apex, hits the wall, and has had to dive into the pits then. He'll look to go on to the mediums to the end of the race from here. That's his only real option. He needs to change the front wing now. Spoonie all over the back of Howak. Will he look to the inside? Gives Howak a bump. Sends him a little bit wide. Backs off. Fair play, Spoonie. We caught that on screen. He hit him, but we've also caught on screen. He lifted and made sure you gained no time from it. Great sportsmanship from the Ferrari, knowing he was at fault and lifting to make sure that he adheres any time gained. We love to see that, and that's just how good this league, how wholesome it is. A great atmosphere in this league with some great racing to boot. And here's yet more. A5 exiting the pits. Matty getting past him. But A5 has more pace than Matty, but he does have to make his mediums go 15 laps, and that's going to be a tall task for the Red Bull driver. But he will have plenty of pace here. He will look to try and capitalise on the hard runners, on the medium runners' lack of traction. 11 laps fresh of the tyre. 11 laps, that's where means faster indeed. Is that another driver diving into the pits? That's Stuart EA. He's up to P4. He will look to make it P3 very, very soon. A great recovery from Keens. I have to say, has been flying up the order and has a great car in the race. Chipped off another 2 tenths since I last looked. He looks to be lapping similar pace, holding similar speed through the corners, but he's just a bit more consistent than Andreas right now. But that gap fluctuating between 2.8 and 3.0, but that's gone up there. Rules has had a bad couple of corners, and like that, Andreas back to where he sat a few laps ago. That's how easy it is. It's so easy to lose time in these games. So hard to gain time. So it's a balancing act. How hard do you push before you tip over the limit? Because you can push hard and gain a tenth a lap, but if you're, half spinning a couple of times in a race, all of that's for nothing. So also finding the limit of traction there. How a good little save from the Williams driver. Into the pits comes Andreas. I thought it would be that lap, and it was. So this is now crucial. Where does the McLaren pit crew put him out? Keens into the pits as well. You can see his rival up ahead. He can see the net race leader, and he will know he has a chance because of how strong his fight back has been. Andreas has come out in clear air, but Stewart might get past Keens here. He does stay ahead of Keens. This is full merit, so this will only hold Keens' progression more. And Keens is on the slower tyre than Stewart, so it will be harder than it was before. Of course, mediums versus hard now becomes hard versus mediums. For Keens, he runs wide there and might pick up a warning. These hards are not going to be operating at all in these cold temperatures, and we've seen it for Andreas. 2 seconds was his gap to Ireland as he exited the pit, 3 seconds, and it's now down to just 0.5. These hard tyres do not want to warm up in the slightest, as Keens has made a mistake here. Mendel has got up past him. Mendel will look to attack the medium shot. Oh, Scalan and Hammer going side by side actually. Mendel will look to attack Stewart at some point soon, but Scalan and Hammer both going at it. This is a fight between these two drivers. Will the Silver Arrow or the Green Machine come out on top. Two very different cars. Same engine and rear suspension. Equal cars, but I do like to mention the differences every now and then. Like the fact that I know more about this than I do about my work, but thankfully this goes hand in hand with my work and stuff about this. So I'm well off there, as is Hannah after passing Scalan. Good recovery from Milwaukee. Scam will look to take advantage of the fact that, oh come on man, you better say something. We will look to take advantage of the fact that Hammer has his red light flashing. Okay, Scalan needs to get it done here, but he's just got far inferior straight line speed. Pardon me, his A5 will look to recover after the front wing change and try and find some points out of this race. Hammer is in a prime position here to get back up. Of course, Hammer did start on the second row of the grid before he started. Keynes 10 seconds up the road as Ironland has been passed by Spoonie here. He's gone clean around the outside, but Ironland will he have the detection point? He will, so he will get DRS to try and keep him in play down this main straight, dead even the ERS. Andreas is starting to pull away from this pack somewhat and make the most out of the tyre advantage he has for now, because it will swing in the favour of Wills and Piastri very soon. Yellow flags are out though. That's Stewart gone for a bit of a spin, but Scalan and A5, and he's purple as well, are battling it away. A5 gets past. Stewart gets back underway then, but he's got a very big ass. Was net ahead of net 3 probably, but ooh, Hammer's car is so twitchy right now. He is sitting on the ragged edge. Gee whiz! Oh, he's fighting for control of that thing, and A5 will know it, and he will look to pass. Hammer, I'm sure, has some sort of damage. Closest fight on the track, wide for Iron. We'll give him a better exit, but it won't matter as Spoonie dives into the pit. 3 DRS. Oh no, Spoonie's got a 5. Speeding in the pits. But here's Rules actually out of the pits. This is crucial to the race. And you know what? He's only 1.3 off the race lead. From what I thought was an advantage Andreas is advantage Rules, but he will have cold tyres for about 3/4 of a lap before they start to get the temperature. But he's already holding Andreas even on cold tyres. This is not going to be good for Andreas. This is going to be a slaughter. Piastri may even get him, who has Keynes all over behind him. This is 4th position then. This is for net P3. Maybe P4 on the road, but with Ironland going to be coming into the pits anytime soon. This is for the rostrum. Piastri on debut. Will he be able to hold this off for 12 laps? He's on cold mediums now, but once they've warmed up, Keynes is going to have one hell of a challenge to get back past Piastri, who he qualified 2 positions ahead of. He's sitting 1 position behind Piastri, seeing his rear view mirror and wanting to see his front wing in his rear view mirror. Oh, rear wing, I should have said it first thing. His rear wing. Here he comes, Keynes. Piastri knows that's not his fight for now. Saying that though, looks for the switchback. What a clean move from Piastri, my word. Side-by-side racing at its finest. And HRA doing its thing yet again. What great racing from the two of these. Piastri showing how to switch back to Keynes. Showing no mercy, showing the straight line speed. The raw pace that Haas has is scary. He will look to close in on the lead. And speaking of closing in on the lead, Rules stuck it out on the slower compound, was more consistent, was driven like Verstappen did in real life here in the 2023 season. Driven very consistent on the hard tyre, made them last, made them work quickly, and he is up into P1. Rules takes the lead then on lap 18 of the race down the sector 2 straight. And will Andreas be able to respond? His tyre compound will hold him back though, big time. He is deploying everything he has to try and get it. And he will have a go here, and he will repass his McLaren teammate. They will be side by side, heading into the last corner. No, Andreas holds it ahead, but so much more grip Rules has. He's got just more front end, not really rear end. He's got a little bit more traction naturally, but front end is just pulling him around the corner so much nicer. So the hard runners were struggling with sliding, and Andreas showing that right now. He is so much slower than Rules. It is only a matter of time before Rules passes. They're side by side, heading into the fast S's of Sector 1. As Howak sets the fastest lap in his Williams on the medium in his attempt to close back into his teammate. That's a spin for Stewart. Yes, Stewart has gone round again. Oh, Stewart. That's unfortunate. And unfortunate for Andreas is the fact that he is now sitting behind after Rules passing yet again. Keane does actually have Piastri to contend with here, and Piastri might have something to say about Keane being P3. He will look to sweep round the outside, and you know he will have more traction. Keane slots his car into the perfect position, denying Piastri of any chance. Great defense from Keane, great attacking from Piastri, great racing from these two. They've been at it. Not for very long actually, but it seemed like forever. The amount of substance and action these two have produced. But out of ERS now, Piastri. He's only 3 miles an hour quicker on the straights, despite DRS. Andreas is sticking with Rules here, but there we go. DRS has been broken. Rules now out in the lead. We'll now fly off into the Miami sunset. Far away from the shadows. 9 laps to go. It's been a decently interesting race actually, and it might continue to spice up here, as Piastri is all over the back of Keane here for this position. Piastri using everything here. Keane's not using any RS. He knows he has to save. Piastri, will he sling it down the inside, or will he look to the outside? He does look to the outside of Keane. And he's done it. The Aston Martin. A shock performance here for Piastri. He is up into P3, but he's got Keane behind, and Keane is on very slower tyres. Look at the ERS advantage. Look at the pace advantage for Keane. That straight line setup aiding him big time. As Piastri will look to try and defend, but he just can't. Keane has so much more straight line speed. Is able to blast past, but that's wide for Keane. And Piastri gets the better exit. But Keane, just so rapid out the corners, is able to hold it. Stewart has repassed Howard. Had a bad couple of corners over the last few laps. Day 5 into the pits again. Gonna go for the soft. Go for the fastest lap. Go for the broke. Try and recover some points. A bit of fun. The kid tonight, you mean Lando? He's not in attendance. So he's not attending. He's sort of preventing the title challenge here. Got to attend as Piastri. He's really turned up to this race. He's repassed Keens yet again. But Keens will defend and will have the better run down the straight. Piastri just has to hope and pray that he gets a better exit. Maybe use a little more ERS initially. The pace that Keens has is just insane. Piastri defends this time, but it's not even worth trying. Keens blast past easily on that straight, and he's backed up into P3. This is an enthralling battle from the two of these. Nico and Mendel fighting, but this is where the fight is right now. Piastri is going to look to try and get Keens here on the main straight. He's looking to the inside. Will he scare Keens offline? A little bit actually. He has made Keens miss the apex, and he is now going to be all over him. But poor little exit there. Keens to hold the gap. All the while they're fighting. Hammer will try and get back in on them, but they're not fighting enough for Hammer to be a factor in this. Piastri all over the back of Keens, more now than ever, but he is attacking hard on the straight because he knows that he's got to try and make something, got to try and get ahead. Yeah, Lando is something else. He is very, very quick. A Div 1 driver in the making, if not already made. In Lando, and Piastri adorning the name of Lando's teammate in real life, who is performing well in real life. Carrying the name to great effect here as Keens gets a 3. That's big. That is huge. Keens now needs to somehow find 3 seconds. With Piastri being so quick here. Might his chance on the podium just slipped away. McLaren will look to hold their 1-2, but that's wide for Piastri, I believe. No, wide for Keens, sorry. It was Keens going a little bit wide. And Piastri, look at that gap Keens has built. He's pulled out 3 tenths. Only champions move to Div 1. Yeah, but I think he didn't win Div 2, but Div 3, sorry, but he didn't attend half of the season. I think it'll be the same here. He won't win every race, but he will, he will be pretty much winning every race when he turns up, which, you know, is all the admin should look at to create a special place for him in Div 1 and move him up, because it won't be fair, because on the odd time he does manage to string together a full season, yes, it'll dominate. Piastri looking to get past Keens again here. He's on the inside. It's closer than it was last time round, and deep goes Piastri. Keens hits him into a half spin. Keens backs off. Good reaction from Keens then. He may have just hit him, but again, lifting off. This is how sportsmanlike the grid is. Do you know, I think I might make a couple appearances. Genuinely, if any of the admin team are watching this through, and you know there won't be a full grid for a Div 1 race, and you want me to slot in just for the lulz of it, I'll stream it on the official account. I'll do it. And I will race Div 1 and I'll see where I stand. And I won't hold back. I'll go all out. I'll see how good I can make it. And where I am in place. I'll do exactly what I do for realistic. That has carried me to 2 on-track podiums in a row, somehow in a Williams, but admittedly the field is very close. But make Monaco the first one. Stop, you don't. I'm not being cocky here, you don't want me to win by 30 seconds. Monaco is not a track that would be fair. If I practice at Monaco at all, it's game over. Monaco and Mexico are my two tracks where if I practice hard, it's just easy. I mean, in Mexico I'm realistic last season. I didn't practice at all, and yet I still finished, I think, P5 or P6 or something like that. Although actually, when is Monaco? Just as Keynes has lost out on DRS here to Piastri. When is Monaco? Because if it's this Friday I can't do it, or if it's the Friday after I can't do it, unfortunately. I am busy. I do not have a day off as that's yellow flags for a spin. Who's that round? That's Road Nico. He's gone round. Ooh. Bother. Still no safety car in this race. Rules dominated by 9 seconds as well. And Piastri holds Keynes out of DRS then for another lap. Piastri might be making the dream happen. But seriously, Monaco is not the track. And also, I don't get the battle. I would like to do a last to first. That would be fun. That's Howak battling Ironland here. They are where they qualified. Not sure if it's the order they qualified in, but sure neither of them will settle. 4P7 all out between the Williams teammates, the team boss. Howak is looking to make a name for himself here, and he's finding decent paces. Oh no, he's got a penalty. Howak, that might have just ruined his chance. And I am giving it the commentator's curse, and Baconator now within the shot. So Howak knows he has to get it now. Yellow flags are out. That's a spin for Mendel. Stuart EA will look to capitalise on that. We've got Spoonie with a 5 in this pack. We've got Howak with a 3. Ironland lets Howak pass. And will he try and play a bit of a team game here and possibly help out his teammate? Or will he just sit where he is, knowing full well he will finish P5 if it is gonna stay within 5 seconds of Spoonie and within 3 of Howak, of course. But they've got to be careful. Oh, wide for Howak. Big snap of oversteer. And now Ironland will look to fight. He will look to pounce. Heading towards turn 1. They start lap 26. And Ironland is going to try and put Howak on skates, who makes the apex. Sharp turn and steering wheel, but has gone in deep there. And Ironland gets a good run, and he's still going to be somewhat with him. Nico gets a 3. Stuart EA is all over the back of Mendel as well. This is a 3-car fight for P6. But if they can stay within, or they can't stay within the time Spoonie actually. So this is a 3-car fight for P6 as it is on track. Maybe P5 if they can stay within the 5 of Spoonie. That's another penalty further down the grid, and Stuart getting past Mendel as well. So this closest, tightest battle we've got. Baconator, he'll be happy sitting where he is, honestly. He'll move up another position, and it'll be a decent race for Bacon Man. Smokey Bacon, I think will be his nickname. I think there's a lot of puns, but I think Baconator, he'll settle, but he won't settle, if you know what I mean. He'll want to move up, but also at the same time, if he can hold this, it's going to be good, as this is A51 and Hammer battling out for the last points. A5 looks back down the inside of Hammer. He's gone a little bit deep on the brakes, and rightfully so, he beats Hammer into a barrier. Not saying anything bad about Hammer there. That's by the rules, he can, and he can because he did, in the wise words of Mr. Martin Brundle. Wise words of Martin Brundle as well. A51 putting ambition ahead of a team into turn 1. All over the back of A5 for this final point staying position. No battles up ahead. Now actually staying within Spoonie. Piastri is pulling out a gap, and settled it. Here comes Hammer to the inside. Oh, I was about to say nice clean move, but that is not clean at all. The skates have been redeployed, and Hammer has just been sent to the shadows by A5, who gets to stay ahead for another lap and fight for another lap. This is leaders now onto the penultimate lap as well, so no one will get lapped here, I believe, unless Rodniko is lapped. Rodniko is lapped, so this will be the last lap for him. Right there. Yeah, McLaren are saying, can they convert, can they challenge each other, or will anyone else challenge them? The answers were, yeah, they'll hold it from quali, they'll challenge each other, they'll fight, and they will win. And if it stays as it is, it will be a superb result for the Woking outfit. Will be a papaya dominated podium. All British manufacturers in the top three. Love to see it. All constructors, I should call them. If you don't manufacture a car these days, you construct it out of gubbins and different, you know. Starting the last lap though is Rules, and he's driven this race brilliantly. Quite frankly, there's no way of buttering it up. He has just been nothing short of amazing. He played the hard tyres to their strengths, used the fact that, yeah, they're slidey, but they're consistent. And here comes Ironland on hard court, taking it with the front row seat for this. He might try and get involved, but yeah. Rules drove the hard superbly, kept the pace up and the consistency up. That's inconsistent from Howard. He goes wide and Baconator jumps at it. So now Ironland will try and fight. Pardon me, will try and fight to get back within 5 seconds of Spoonie and move himself up to P5. But yeah, Rawls has just been managed his hards perfectly, and that hard stint was nothing short of perfect. Raven's paying these guys too much. Whatever he's paying them, they will deliver the money. And when they signed on the dotted line, I don't think they expected this level of performance. We knew Rules would be quick going into the season. Andreas has been an up-and-comer, but Rules, he's outwitted his teammate today. He takes the win in Miami. Brilliant stuff for Rules. 10 seconds ahead of his teammate. Yellow flags further back in that battle. That's going to be Baconator looking to pass here. XFR Piastri on debut, P3. What a drive from him. Keane comes home P4. This is the fight that matters though. Spoonie, oh wow, matters to these guys. Spoonie holds ahead of Baconator, but Baconator got past Ironland on the last lap to get up to P6. What a drive from the Alfa Romeo, and a decent drive from Ironland as well after dropping down off the start. He recovered his way up to P7. P7, P8, a decent performance and showing from Williams, although they were on another level last season in Div 2. I think they've carried that into Div 1. With Cook. Scalan P9, A5, P10 gets the last point. Got the fastest lap as well. Baconator as well, 130.5. Good pace from Mr. Smokey Bacon. Bad day at the office for Merck. No points for the Mercedes outfit. So then, apologies for that. McLaren, it's not perfection because they didn't get fastest lap, but I'll tell you what, I don't think they'll be hard pressed about not getting fastest lap, because ultimately, standing where they stand, first and second on the rostrum, that's a good day at the office for the McLaren boys. And Rules will now be holding himself well in the championship. He's been consistent all season long, and his form just continues. But what a drive from our newcomer. Big ups Piastri. P5 to P3. Didn't have the raw pace that Keynes had and consistency all throughout the race, but he kept it fast and he kept it clean, most importantly. And that is what gave him the confidence and the impetus to know, hang on, I can actually do this. He could do it, and he did do it without the penalty. Just shows Piastri, he played his cards right. He was dealt with a good hand with qualifying, and it was pocket aces for Piastri. So then that is it. Rules, Andreas, Piastri, Keen, Spoonie, Baconator, Island, Hawak, Skalan, and A51, with Baconator getting the fastest lap. Shortier, Hammer, Mendel, Nico, Mendel, Matty, and Nico all having torrid races. It does seem like Matty got the fastest lap at the end, unless that is a glitch from the game, the 30.2. So big ups to Matty, something to walk away smiling after a torrid race for the Mercedes outfit, but they will bounce back. That's Mercedes in real life and in HRA. They're good at it, and they will do it again. But a team that doesn't need to bounce back, a team that, as Mr. Toto Wolff himself said, we are the team with the targets on our backs. And that is true for Division 2. After a 1-2 here, can they hold the form? Rules has sheer pace. Andreas has the drive and the aggression of a champion in waiting. He may not get it this season, but I'm sure he will be challenging very, very soon at the front, because he's been nothing short of miraculous in his improvement. Great comms as always. Thank you very much, Zoom. It is appreciated. So I do put a decent bit of effort into these, and I'm glad you guys enjoy them. And I say it all the time, commentator is only as good as the racing in front of him. And this racing is just, this league is amazing. The battles are constant. The strategy is a big game. There's a lot of people willing to gamble for the alternate strategies. There's all different types of driver in this grid. There's the conservative ones like me who think long run, and there's those like Andreas and Piastri. Actually, this race showed that they will attack when given any chance, and the dynamic in all 4 divisions, 3 equal divisions, 1 realistic division in HRA is just immensely good. So that will be all from me. I have been Apollo. This has been HRA League Division 2, Round 5 at Miami. A reminder, I won't be able to do Division 1. Sadly, I'm at Comic-Con, so I'm missing my 3 favourite things in life: HRA, Formula 1, and IndyCar. And the Indy 500 and Monaco, man. I'm more bummed out about HRA, to be honest, but I'll see you when I see you. If you watch my personal, it'll be Monday for the realistic. And if you watch just this, it will probably be Friday for comms. I'm not sure if there'll be cover, or if there'll be cover Monday, actually. But we'll see you when we see you. Have a good one, guys. Peace.